Oh, hello everybody, and welcome to the first ever Mankind podcast. Go ahead, Chero, this is your show.
Jesus Christ, it is. Welcome to the very first, I mean, before that, the pilot episode before that was pre-pilot. I'm going to accept that as an answer. Welcome to the very first Mankind podcast. This is myself, Cherokee666, Chero666, whatever I decide to go by, I will stick to that. With me today is the man that is slightly more handsome to me, Duffman A. How's it going, Duff?
Duffman A, whatever. Doing good tonight, good to be here.
The archivist himself.
Yeah, I'm not a robot.
Take it off.
He's real.
Talking.
That wasn't a request. That was.
Oh, let me. Oh, by the way, I'm wearing my MANvsGAME shirt.
Yes,
Everyone should
we
be.
all are.
Yeah. Rocket
Rock
Man.
Worst money ever. I mean, anyway, I followed the store to buy some more. With me is the most delicious woman here, Brownie. How's it going?
What's up? What's up? Hola. I am freaking excited. This is crazy. I've got like energy coming out of my pores. So.
I see him.
Woo!
Oh, your pores. You should really do something about that. I mean, hi. And with me is the anti-man herself, Shatia 12.
The anti-man. I like it.
Yeah, it took me a little while to think that one up.
So, Chero, what are we talking about today?
Man. Man, oh man. We're talking about man.
Man.
That was fun, but don't feel free not to laugh. Yeah. The first thing we actually had planned was talking about those evil subs. Man, those guys are evil. Giving man their money.
Give man his money. And is
giving him the option to the ability to be the only ones be able to directly communicate with him, aside from the Twitter guys and the people who message the mods.
Which you shouldn't
Hey, to be
do.
fair, I don't get any messages.
You should never message
You're
them.
lucky.
I have this
No, don't do it. I got like 4 of those things yesterday.
Of course, now I'll probably get like 100.
Yeah.
So, there you go.
Congratulations, Duff. You are screwed.
I'll be reading all your messages right after the show.
Anyway, I believe GTA 12 has a video. Is that true?
Yes. So in order to kick off the discussion of the evil or good submo chat, we have the opinion of the man, the myth, the legend himself, MANvsGAME. So just give me a sec. We will load this up here, and here is Man's opinion on submo chat right out of his own mouth.
To be honest, I just realized I forgot to turn the speakers off. So this music is going now throughout the whole house. Usually I turn the speakers off so people don't have to listen to that. People being my fiance. But I don't know what to do anymore. The subscriber-only chat is like a drug, and it's like the best thing that's ever happened to me. I keep waiting for like the downside to surface to it, and it doesn't. So I know. Honey, I'm sorry. Let me turn down the music right now. Alright, it is luxurious. Excuse me. The main thing, I mean, I've got it on because of the spoilers! People just, random, shitty, fucking people just keep coming in, trying to spoil the movie, and, being able to keep them out. Oh, man crotch, hello. Hi, I'm back. Keeping them out, keeping the random racial slurs, the homophobic, you know, just garbage that comes in, keeping that out, keeping out just the random, like, you know, just link spam, you know, bullshit, you know, look at Lindsay's tainted crotch. It's just so glorious having all of that just, like, out of my room. I realize that putting up the wall around the chat is, it's a big deal. I realize this. I've been thinking about nothing else than this. But putting up the wall has been like, of course, it's twofold. It's like, yes, there are people that is kept out of the chat that I feel very bad about. I feel very bad about that. But keeping out the other trash that I was just talking about to me it just raises the viewing experience for not only myself but for so many people who have chosen to help support me here, and I don't know what to do going forward, because it's like heroin. It's like this drug that I've started using, and now it's just like I don't know how to go back. I don't want to stop using it. So anyway, so tonight, at least until I see Batman Dark Knight Rises, I am going to use the subscriber-only chat because of humanity. Some dregs of humanity choose to grief, and it's really the easiest way to keep people out. So, my apologies again to anybody that cannot or chooses not to subscribe. There's always Twitter. There's always Twitter.
Alright, so that was from Man himself. Chero, it's your show. You want to go first?
Oh, 1 second. I just got myself on a little... There we go. Sorry about that. Forgot to mute that. Anyway, you want my input?
Yes, sure.
It's...
Go ahead.
Wait, give me that. Okay. Some time ago, Miss Taunton herself sent out a little poll to all these mods, for being right here, about asking what is our opinion about the sub chat, right before they decided to implement it. I was one of the guys that said go for it. I say go for it. I really do think that separating it sucks. It does suck. I really do think that once the trolls get in and they do their damage, that damage stays with them even long after they're gone. If they spoil something, hundreds of people have already seen it before we were able to delete it. And, well, that kind of blows. That's the only way I can really describe it. Just massive blowing.
By the way, I hope everybody's seen Dark Knight Rises by now, because it's not sub-only mode. So, there might be some spoilers in there.
I haven't, but I don't really care.
You never know.
Doesn't bother me.
But I guess I'll go next. I think Jatia did this too, but I voted yes, but a test phase would be nice first. Because I wasn't entirely sure if it would work, if we'd have enough people that would actually chat. But after a while, like Man said, I think you just get used to it. The chat's so civil. I don't think I've had to do any work at all over the last month and change.
On occasion, I'd time a person out, but that's rare, like once every 4 days.
Well, to be fair, I didn't do any work before.
No,
I just do even less work. And it'd be hard to go back. That's all I'm saying. And
yeah, that closed little community now can get to know each other a lot better.
right,
No, the people that decide to give Man money or souls.
Well,
I mean,
that's the thing. Everybody can still watch and could still chat with Man through Twitter. It's just but it's a privilege to chat in the Twitch chat room. And to me, what's the difference? You can still watch Man for free, so why not pay for a little extra perk with a civil and clean chat room? That's all I'm saying.
Brownie, why don't you go?
I was one of the mods that actually did not vote, and I'm still very much in the middle because I am very glad that Man is feeling a lot better, that he feels more relaxed, that it's easier for him to let go because he doesn't have to look at the chat and be like, oh, what the fuck, I said no spoilers, what people are listening, ah! But at the same time, I know how the non-subs feel because a lot of them just don't have the money to pay for subscription. It's not that they don't want to, they want to, but they can't at the time. But I guess I'm kind of okay with the sub mode, but I'm still a little iffy.
I just think it grows on you after a while. And I was skeptical at first. You know, it won't. No one's gonna chat. There's not enough subs, but I think it works out pretty good myself.
But I have to say, I have not been doing like any work at all.
It's been relaxing.
See what I'm saying?
It's been really relaxing.
It has been very relaxing. Like, that has definitely been a bonus.
Plus, I can look away for a second, and the chat's not flying down the page. I can actually read what's being said.
That's true too. That's true too.
Yeah.
So, fulfilling my role as the constant dissenter of everything and
Okay,
anything.
go ahead.
Mankind. As I think Brownie said, there was a poll done before of the, like, what the mods thought. I was a mod that said, no, I don't like subchat. And I have to say, wait, let me back up. Let me preface this. Let me preface with what I'm about to say is this. I am in no way, shape, or form suggesting what man should do. It is his channel. He can do whatever the hell he wants, as far as I'm concerned. I don't support him any less for having the sub chat up. None of that. And this is what reason why I've really been loath to sort of voice my opinion on it, because I don't want people to get that idea that it's like, oh, I think, you know, man's a greedy asshole for the sub chat. That's not what it is. But having said that, I think for me, the way that it's been on all the time, and from what he said in the chat, how he's going to be using it all the time is the part I don't like. And I have a few reasons for that. For one, for me at least, Mankind has always been an incredibly inclusive community. Whether you are black, white, red, gray, gay, straight, left-handed, right-handed, colorblind, whatever, Mankind has just, like, welcomed you with open arms and said, hey, welcome, come hang out with us. And, like it or not, the sub chat excludes people. It excludes people who can't sub, whether that is they literally can't afford it, maybe they live somewhere that, for whatever reason, Twitch can't take their payments, or whatever. So there's that. Another reason that I sort of don't like the sub chat is I feel it's probably harder for new people to really get into the cast, because as awesome as man's casts are, just watching them, a huge part of his cast is the community and chatting and getting to know the mods and getting to know the regulars and all that kind of thing. And personally, I would have found it hard to pay $5 to chat to a caster and to people who I have never talked to before. It would be hard for me to really integrate into the community like that. So that's kind of another reason that I kind of don't like the sub chat. And my sort of third big reason, I know nobody is going to agree with me on, especially man, but a lot of the times the trolls, like, yes, okay, there was always the link spam, there was always the, like, jerk trolls that just needed to get the heck out. But a lot of the trolls added flavor too. Like, how many moments? The one that always comes to mind when I think of this is Elite Muffin. With the original, was it Demon Souls or Dark Souls?
It was Demon Souls.
It was Demon Souls.
I think it was Demons.
So in the Demon Souls cast, this guy basically came in and tried to troll man by ganking him in Demon Souls or something. But it adds flavor to the cast. You know, if you just got always the one group of people who all love and behave and everything, that's great a lot of the time. But every now and then you just need the little dash of people who just get things fired up and mixed up and things like that. So yeah, that's basically why. I think if subchat were used a little bit more sparingly, I could get behind it a lot more. But having it just on all the time is my issue.
I feel like we're past the point where we could just get rid of it, right? Because if we got rid of it now, anybody would say is, oh, 7-way chat's gone, now we're going to talk about how crappy it is. You know, and then eventually it goes back on. So
And then
To
this
me,
conversation
I never
starts
passed
all
that
over
point.
again.
Yeah.
Pretty
See,
much, yeah.
And
this would have been great a month ago, right? But I think we're past that point now.
I remember when first subscriber mode started happening, and there was already a divide there.
Right.
I mean, it calmed down after about a month, but still.
Well, and I think it's like anything, it's like misbehaving kids, right? If you start disciplining something, the behavior gets worse, and then it peters off and gets better. So it would be the same thing with releasing the sub mode, right? It would get horrible for the first little bit, and then eventually they would peter off again. But I mean, you could even use sub mode as a punitive measure. Like you turn it on if people are dicks, you turn it off if people are dicks. You turn it back on again. He tried that a couple casts, and there was definitely a couple casts where I was actually typing in /subscriber mode, to like turn it on. I totally agree. It absolutely needs to be used sometimes.
I agree with that measure, yeah.
Yeah. I remember Zeke specifically saying, "Why don't you just leave it on, man?" I remember those. I think he did like in 2 casts. You're just telling, "Why don't you just keep this sub mode chat on all the time?"
And again, I will say, man has always been happier, it seems, when there's sub-only chat. That might just be coincidence. It might just be the game he's playing, but there's something about that sub chat. I don't know.
And that is sort of like the balance for me is I think he's way happier with it just from watching the cast. And to me, he puts on a better cast when he's happier. When he's starting to fight the chat and snarking and stuff, then the cast quality kind of goes down.
Diablo, Portal 2, God of War.
Yeah.
Remember those casts?
Yeah.
Do you remember? Do you remember?
BioShock 2?
Oh.
Never again.
Those were nasty, man.
Never again.
Those were dirty. Like, Lindsay's naked crotch, whatever he said. That was nasty. It was, God.
Like, casts like that made my clicking trigger finger so fast and so good, because the chat would zoom by and I'd be like, ban, 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 time out, ban, ban,
bam, 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 bam. Oh, shit. Oh, God.
Oh, sorry about that.
Undo.
So I'm the one that has to do /unban XXX.
With the big
that was my job. I was the unbanned
Sorry,
guy.
misclicked.
I don't know. Like I said, for me, it being on all the time is sort of the deal breaker for me. If it was just used sparingly, and even if he just had like 2 days a week, or say weekends, if he did weekend casts, turn it off. Some time where it was off and everybody could talk and the whole community could just come together and just be. I think I would be a lot more open to it. But just the way where it's always on, even on weekends, I think that's kind of where I guess my issue.
I don't have a problem with opening it up, a day or 2 a week. But I think getting completely rid of it, I think we're past that point now, almost.
Yeah.
I think I agree about opening it up every now and then.
Once in a while it's fine, I guess.
Like especially like his WoWcast, like
his
the
WoWcast,
chat is dead during his WoWcast.
Yeah, that's because it's cut.
Because nobody wants to watch WoW, right?
Yeah, a quarter of the chat sticks around where everyone just bucks off. I mean.
But I mean, then that's the perfect time to open it up, right? Because chat's slow anyway.
You know what? Yeah.
Open it up, and I mean, hey, again, I'm not telling him what to do. I'm waiting for the tweet that's like, "Don't tell me what to do." I'm not telling him what to do. It's a suggestion.
Jesus God.
Okay. I actually enjoy his wildcasts.
I do too, for the record.
Well, it'd be great if they were at a decent hour.
It's good to see.
If they were on at 6 p.m. instead of 3 in the morning when I'm sleeping, I'd be all for it.
All right, so are we good? Have we discussed the sub mode topic to death?
I don't know. Do we have anything else to add about it? I can't think of anything.
All right, so the next burning topic, I admit, is probably going to be more of a Chatia rant than anything else.
I'm just going to walk away right now.
But
earphones off.
But I did ask for this to be put on as part of a topic, and that is the Dark Souls port. So before we get started on the actual discussion, we do have a highlight of Man's opinion of Dark Souls rant, which I will get started here.
there is this issue with Dark Souls Prepare to Die Edition for the PC, where it has like an internal rendering resolution of I think a max like 720p thing going on, and a fan, a modder, what was his name? Durante? Jimmy Durante! Durante! Ah! He's young at heart. Durante fixed this problem that From Software could not figure out in months of developing this PC port. Fixed this issue with the resolution thing. Now, a lot of stories have the headline like 23 minutes because it was released like literally 23 minutes after Dark Souls was released. He apparently was working on it for about a week. A week! This is still what I'm talking about here. One fucking guy who is such a fan of Dark Souls that when he heard the terrible news, and so thank God that From Software had the foresight to announce that they had no idea what they were doing. So this guy, about a week, he was working on it, had the code and everything going. And so when Dark Souls Prepare to Die Edition actually dropped, his code was so spot on and so ready to go, he apparently didn't have to change hardly anything. Released it in like 23 minutes. And, I mean, you've seen the pictures. You've seen the pictures on the internet of just how much it cleans up and, how nice it makes the game run at higher resolutions. My whole point in this is From Software and Namco. I don't even know who's to blame. I honestly think it's probably more Namco Bandai. If there's anyone to like point fingers at, I think it's probably the mixture of From Software having never even made a PC game, and Namco not being willing to spend any money on this release. That's what I think is so funny, because it's quite telling. Maybe not any money, but and so I've got all these people that are telling me that as a fan of Dark Souls, I should just be happy that the thing exists. It's like, well, okay, yes, I am. To a certain extent, yes. I'm glad that I'm here and that I can play through this game again, and so I can play the new content, which is going to be released on the consoles anyway as DLC, in which I would argue that content was already planned. I am almost positive that the new content was already in development, was already planned, and then when this petition came along, they kind of changed their plans up, and they're like, hey, this is, we're working on this new content, and this petition has really opened our eyes to this whole market that we could totally cash in on. I'm pretty sure that that's the way it went. So, all these people are telling me that, like, Dark Souls fans should just, why don't you just be happy that it exists? To an extent, yes, I'm glad that, PC gamers get a chance to experience the game. That it's, that was released on another platform. However, it is, like, one of the, like, the review I read, one of the reviews, like, the first reviews I saw, I think, I can't remember the website. I wish I could plug it, because, like, the poll, the tagline or whatever, like, the poll from the review was, like, something like, Dark Souls Prepare to Die Edition on PC. It's not buggy, and it plays okay. Or it's like something like that. It's like that's like the extent of like what you can say about it. It's like, well, it plays exactly like the other games, and I'm sorry. There was a certain somebody on Twitter that just loves to argue with me. who I swear to God, she doesn't even like this game. And she was arguing with me over this game. I was like, why do you even care? You hate these games. Which is exactly why this person does not understand. Fans, you know, slight disappointment at the quality of this release.
I can barely listen to that. I am so glad that I was
All right, here we go.
asleep.
This is the retort.
Just do it already.
So glad
You
that
have
I
my
was
undivided
asleep when he
attention.
was doing this, because the first time that I watched that, I was just like, oh my god. Okay, so here's my argument about this.
Yep, 100%
My
my attention.
argument about this Dark Souls port is, when the petition went out, the petition was so that people who do not own consoles would be able to play the game on PC. What was put out by the company? The game that was on the consoles, so that people could play it on the PC. People are so upset that features weren't added to make it better than what was on the consoles. And it's like, Man made an analogy, and it's perfect. Imagine that I am eating just a plain sandwich, just like chicken and bread, nothing else. And Duff comes up to me and says, "Oh my god, that sandwich looks so awesome. Could I have one?" And I go, "Absolutely. Here you go." And I give him a plain chicken sandwich, exactly like what I'm eating. And he goes, "Get out of here. There's no tomatoes on here. There's no cheese on here. Where's my ketchup, honey?" And
That's incorrect. I actually like a plain chicken sandwich.
Well, that's my point, is that
So, sorry.
people, and I have to say that the thing is, it's not like people are saying, you know, this is a great game, we're really happy the port came. We wish they would have added some features, but you know what, we're still really happy that it came to the PC. Thank you very much, From Software. No, you know what people are doing? "Oh my god, From Software, I can't believe that you would even release this. How dare you release this game? This is the shittiest port ever. I can't..." And you know what? Honestly, if I was From Software, I would say, you know what? Fuck you guys. We are never releasing another PC game again. We weren't going to release this on the PC. We were just going to keep it on the consoles where we're comfortable and just leave it at that. We weren't going to give you the opportunity to play this game, but you guys asked for it. You guys said, "Hey, we really, really want to play this." And From gave it to you, and the reward they get is endless bitching, whining, and moaning about how they didn't make it better than the console version. And that is that. And as for the comment on why do I care, the reason I care is because, first of all, it was Man doing the bitching and moaning, so that automatically
Nothing's new there.
and I'm sorry, but that's what it is. It's whining. It is nothing but entitled whining. That's just it. So Polyphony Sunrise in the chat says, "As a company, if you feel from the beginning that you are incompetent at making a PC port, then don't do it in the first place." I'm sorry, but taking a game and making it play exactly the same as it did on the consoles is not an incompetent port. It is a port that works. The game plays exactly the same. In fact, from what people have been telling me, Blighttown runs better on the PC than it did on the console. So, that is not an incompetent port.
There you go.
It's a decent
Blighttown.
port. It's a decent port. Did they add
You guys
anything?
get Blighttown.
There you go. You got Blighttown. And it's a decent port. It's not an incompetent port. So
I wish you could chime in, but I already own the goddamn game. I don't need it on PC.
that's what that's my point, is that if all the whining that I have seen from the media, or in the articles and stuff, because that's all I know, has been they didn't add resolution options. What was the other big one?
Resolution options, just basic optimization, just making sure it runs as many computers as possible. Running as smoothly as possible, from what you said about Blighttown. I haven't heard anything about Blighttown, to be honest, so I'm not sure how well that runs. No, apparently it doesn't run. Said run properly. Said nated 313.
Now, and
apparently some people still have
yeah.
problems trying to run the goddamn thing.
And I remember when Man was casting it, there was at one point where it might have even been you, Chero. Someone linked a screen cap that said your frame rate is too low, you can't play the game or something. That is a legitimate complaint about a port. That is an absolute legitimate complaint about a port, not the addition of features or whatever else everyone else is complaining about. That to me is not a legitimate complaint.
Well, this could sound like an entitled PC gaming because I know very, very no PC gamer I know will ever fully accept the quality of a game that ran on hardware 7 years ago. Those are what consoles are.
That's the only game I can run.
My computer's like a year and a half old. A year and a half old, and it's still a lot better than all those consoles right next to me. And
to me, all this whole thing, the big lesson that I think From Software has probably learned from this is they will never release another game on the PC.
I think they should be at least more careful if they try to.
It's just not worth the trouble. To me, it really... I think the problem is that when people signed that petition, they signed the petition as people who already owned the game, and that they didn't want the game to come out for people who didn't have consoles. They were signing the petition in the hopes that they would get that better game, right? They would get that optimization. But that's not what it was about at all.
Yeah, PCs are just... PCs are just better machines in comparison, so people just wanted their game to run a lot smoother. Because, I never did reach Blighttown on my playthrough because I rage quitted after that one gaping dragon motherfucker. But... And that was about a year ago. I should probably get back on that. But when I heard it ran and chugged like a bitch. But I guess PC gamers just wanted, not just PC gamers, but people who love that game wanted that part to run a lot better. From what you said, Chatia, is people have been able to run it a lot better. The Blighttown. I haven't heard much of anything just from you right now, so I don't have any comment beyond that.
Brownie, Duffy?
Hits was that.
I think the moral of the story is, if you can play it on console, just play it on console right now. And if you have to play it on PC, it's a port that works. Deal with it. Is that what you're basically saying?
That's basically what I'm saying, is that the purpose of this port, I think, was just to get people a chance to play...
sunglasses near me.
To play the game. Like, it wasn't to optimize anything. It was just to let you play the game. Oh, sorry, my dog's about to bark, so I'm actually going to mute myself.
Well, she muted herself, so let's continuously talk. So, how's everyone else doing? Everyone else listening to what this bullshit is saying? I mean, hi, Tia. Oh, she can still hear us.
I think she can still hear us.
Hi, how's it going? Oh man, this is awkward.
Anyway, do we have anything else to add on that?
I'm good. I feel much better now.
I didn't have a whole lot to say. This was mostly Jatia's thing. So.
Yeah, I didn't really have anything to say about it.
Oh, you're back.
Brownie, did you want to talk about that topic that you asked me about a few days ago?
Oh, I forgot.
GQ's cast.
GQ's cast. It was brought up in.
About was it casting as career?
Yeah.
Ah, yes. Oh, I don't understand why
actually explain the situation first for people who weren't at GQ's place. I wasn't, so.
I wasn't either, so I need to hear about this.
Oh, it was just basically it was just a discussion on whether or not playing video games is a possible career or not. And one person was like, "Oh, come on now! Like, video games are a hobby. You can't possibly make a job out of it. And it's really stupid if you try." And then there are other people that are like, "Well, fuck it. I mean, if you can make a career out of hitting balls with a bat, then why can't you make a career out of playing video games?" Right about now. If you like making, somebody made a comparison to like making clay pots. If making clay pots is your hobby, and you want to turn it into something like a lucrative thing, then do it. If it's what you love to do, then do it. And frankly, I agreed, and I just thought it was weird that people were so negative about it. Like, yeah, he's a guy playing video games. Why not? G4 TV was a channel.
That's another discussion.
Rest in peace, G4.
Yeah.
TV.
Yeah, it was based around
Your last credibility
video
died with
games
that
and
assessor.
technology.
I think what got me, because I can't remember if I was actually talking in the chat or if I was lurking. What the thing that got me sort of riled up in that chat was video game casting shouldn't be a job. Was that the person was saying it should just be a hobby. You shouldn't be able to make a job out of it. And that's what really got me going. Because I totally agree with Brownie. If you want to make a job out of casting yourself playing video games and you're able to do it, have fun. If you can do that with anything, I always use the argument of, like Brownie said, baseball. How come if pro athletes can make a job out of doing their hobby, that's okay? But people like Man and Foom in here, Lethal Frag, Crumps, how come it's not okay for them to make a job out of their hobby if they're able to?
Exactly.
I would have disagreed with the sentiment that you can make it a career, except I look in here right now and there are 471 people in here watching a podcast about
Why?
a game cast.
Yeah, thank you.
So if we can get 500 people to watch this, I think there's enough viewers to go around to make gaming and casting a career.
Yeah, I'm currently looking at the entire first page of the Twitch TV browse button. Just click browse, and I guarantee you, whoever said that did not never been to this website before in their lives until that day. Jesus Christ, these people are making careers. Team Spooky with 12,000 people. The MLG, all these different places. Casting games can be a career. It can be a career. Is it just casting games was the discussion, or did they just video games in general?
It was I think they did make the distinction in that it was okay to be an esports player and do it that way, like, the Huck and whatever. But it was like specifically the casual casters, like Man, Crumps, Foom, all those guys that shouldn't make a living playing video games.
I just think it's ridiculous, because if getting really good at playing one game makes you an e-caster and you can potentially make money out of that, then what's the problem with playing several different games, a variety of games, to give varieties of people that like different types of platforms and stuff, different types of games, entertainment, and get paid for it. It's something for everybody. It's not just one sole game. It's World of Warcraft. It's Bit Trip Runner. It's, Ninja Gaiden. You got like the classic shit in there. You got the new shit in there. It's something for everybody.
Well, and a lot of times it's not even about the game.
Potential.
It's about the personality that's playing the game.
Exactly.
Yeah. If you have a big enough personality to do that sort of thing, why not take advantage of it?
Exactly.
The biggest casters out there, aside from esports, are people that are really, really good at games or have a really, really good personality. Mankind fits in one of those two, but we haven't quite decided that one yet.
He's definitely not good at games.
Okay, well, apparently
never
that's
said he
personality. Apparently.
I guess, and just to clarify, the reason that I called it casual casters is just because that's how Twitch classifies it. I by no means consider those people I listed casual. It's just the way that Twitch classifies it. They're not esports, so they stick them in this casual category because there's really no other. It's basically personality-based casting as opposed to game-based casting is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
It's a show. It's a show. He is an entertainer. This is entertainment.
Instead of watching a TV show every night, I watch MANvsGAME 5 nights a week, 6 nights a week, whatever it is.
It's totally a show. It's totally a show. It's just not on the TV. It's not on cable. Yeah. It's on Twitch.
There's plenty of casters that do very similar things that Man does, and they come by really fast. They go by really fast. Not go by. What's the word I'm looking for? Or whatever. They get by.
Fade out.
they get by really well because they cast. You can make a career of this. You can live off the money you are doing here.
Mm-hmm. Now, by no means is it going to be instant either.
No,
as we've always said,
you're not swimming into Benjamins here. You're not doing that shit.
Yeah, I mean, even Man started with just one viewer, and that viewer. Oh, can I point the right way? Is that one right over there? That is viewer 0, Brownie Sin herself.
Wrong way. I just looked at myself in the stream. I pointed the wrong
I'm pointing
direction.
the right way because I got extra.
Yeah, me too. So.
You're kind of diagonal, Chero.
Okay, it's that way then.
Yeah,
It's
there
all
you go.
pointed.
There you go.
It's all points.
That is viewer 0. So, I mean, it's not going to happen. But it's the same with anything. Like, baseball players start when they're kids, and they play Little League, and they work their way up, and yeah. Exactly.
That's how it goes. That's how it goes. Like
You
when
watch this little man grow
like,
up into the ego maniac. You just watched him grow, budded like a flower.
Yeah,
It was
He was
spikes.
so quiet, now he rants about
Now he thinks he has an opinion.
But he can't
That's
stop
huge.
talking.
I have to say though, he has always had that really warm, welcoming kind of like really excited to see you, makes you feel really special whenever he sees you. Like he's always been that way since the day I met him. Like the first time I spoke to him, he was like, "Hey man, hi, how's it going? Welcome to my." I know it's not much, but you know it's really cool. Do you like video games? What do you listen to? It's
just like, oh my goodness, I have a viewer in here.
Yeah,
Gotta make sure I don't screw this up.
That too.
That's the silly thing.
Well, yeah, he's just. It's amazing. It's amazing watching. Just watching.
Wait, we're complimenting him too much. We're complimenting. This is not the
Yeah, that's right.
Well, Tachia got all
That
the
is very
rants.
stupid. My God.
Make up for it.
That dude sucks. Ugh.
What is he
I've been
doing
watching
here?
all these years? Fuck.
What an egomaniac asshole.
Jesus Christ. He's
All right, so
wait, we were happy there for a second, man.
Yeah, sorry about that.
I'm here to bring it down.
Yeah, that was.
all right, so is there anything else we need to go over for today's cast?
Actually, I do have something. This was actually brought up to, not brought up to me, but someone I follow on Twitter. Should I give out a name?
Go ahead.
Crinus. He actually once. This was quite recently. He once said, he's put out a tweet that complained about how the new Devil May Cry game was actually pissing a lot of fanboys off, and he was yelling at him, saying, "You should stop being mad. And if you don't want to play it, don't buy it." Now, I'm one of those irritated little assholes, fanboys, for the Devil May Cry series that wants to choke people. Everyone involved. From the swishy-haired motherfucker who is always on the camera talking about how awesome he is. Yeah, I'm getting a Captain Sanity, new DMC. That's my little input there. Aside from bashing skulls and drinking the blood of my enemies, it's delicious. But this is not a discussion about the game, but the whole idea of what. Has there ever been like a series that you absolutely loved, that you watched crushed right in front of you? By the developers, by anyone involved, a series of games. And I know Chatia has one that...
I think she and I probably have the same answer.
Yeah.
Probably. Now,
Yep.
I have a handful of those, from Devil May Cry right now to the Silent Hill series, Resident Evil. Old school PC gamers have the Ultima, Wing Commander, myself against Syndicate. This is Syndicate, by the way. 90% of Syndicate is this fuck. Anyway. Back to this. Anyway, have you guys ever had that game?
No.
Sadly, no.
Sadly, no.
No.
No, not even Other M.
Oh, sorry, I misunderstood. Yeah, no,
Oh.
Other M is definitely my game that got just crushed the series for me, for sure. And I would argue that the new Ninja Gaiden was a big soul crusher for a lot of people as well.
For man, we watched his deterioration as the game went on. It was glorious. I mean, sad.
That was pain. That was really.
It was
painful.
painful. That was so boring. I actually dusted my room.
I mean, I like seeing men suffer, but I don't like seeing him suffer like that.
That was soul crushing.
Yeah.
He took the controller, covered his eyes with it, and pressed the button and did not see the screen, and he was still completing the game that way.
Have anyone played the demo? And you guys,
no,
or actually played the goddamn game? I played the demo. One-handed, I played the demo while tweeting at the same time, constantly pushing this button over and over again. Everyone was gone, and I can hear your typing. Anyway, your typing's really loud. Anyway, I was pushing the same button over and over. I killed everybody. Everyone's gone.
That's sad.
Some people just want a win button.
Sad.
They just want a win button, right?
Like
half the Wii
button.
games.
Yeah.
It's start and win.
Which is terrible. And that was a demo, and I felt like I wasted my time. For something... There's one thing wasting my money, but I think it's worse to waste my time.
Yeah. Well, and
at least you're to go back and play the old games.
Yeah.
The old DMC games. Like, oh, I remember those now. Those were the good games. I'm gonna go play those. See, and there you go.
And yeah, my favorite thing about the Ninja Gaiden 3, the new Ninja Gaiden 3, was the quick time event where a man started it and then proceeded to go get coffee and come back, and the quick time event was still going.
Syndicate was full of those. There was a scene where a man was having a heart attack on a gurney, and you're like, "Quick, push the button over there!" I kind of just watched him for a good 3 minutes. I just kind of just stood there with my controller, just staring at him like, he seems fine. He's just kind of twitching a little. What are those noises in the background? Are those heart beeps? Yeah, he seems fine. Okay, he's convulsing badly, but he's not dead yet. And then the very last... I don't even care about spoiling this fuck. No one should play this.
Spoiler alert!
Spoiler alert, if anyone cares. The very, very last thing, right after like a boss fight, after you walk down the hall, you see the head honcho. He apparently does something that makes me fall down and collapse for some apparent reason. And then the screen is black, and then all of a sudden an X appeared. I'm just staring at that X, thinking, you're seriously not making me do this. No, fuck you. No, fuck you. No, I got homework I gotta be doing. Fuck you. No. I was like, ah. After like 2 minutes, I gave in and just pushed the button very slowly. It worked. It worked. I didn't even have to press it fast. Which was quickly followed by the head honcho basically just saying, oh, what a shame, and just... He just casually kind of just falls to his own death. I wish I have a highlight of that scene, but I wish I brought it with me. Because the incoherent, sanity-lost laughter that came forward from my mouth was just a man who just broke. That game.
That's what they were going for.
That's what they were going for.
I was screaming, I was laughing, and I was crying at the same time. That game was wretched. Yeah. And not to mention, it was blinding me like this half the time. You think I'm kidding? There's no source for the light either. It just decides to shine everywhere.
It's just like a perpetual lens flare with no light
It's
source.
a constant lens flare. It gave me a headache. I was getting headaches throughout the entire goddamn game. Oh, I'm ranting about a game that's nothing to do with this cast. But nonetheless, I'm done with that. This is just mostly a conversation about just games.
Well, you know, Man was gonna play Syndicate with some friends, so why not?
I don't know any friends that are willing to play that game with me. I have friends who are not willing to play that shit with me.
Well, no, Man was gonna do a co-op cast with Syndicate, so
sometime, place.
maybe one day we'll get to see it on the cast.
Maybe. And
Anyway.
oh well.
All right, so we are starting to run a little bit late here, so I think we're going to wrap it up, guys. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us on this little MANvsGAME podcast. We hope to do more.
Forever beta. This is the
Forever
first of many
beta.
Beta.
This is very beta.
Maybe
Beta.
maybe in a year we'll actually go official. It'll
Yeah.
be like the real episode one.
And maybe a year. I would do the whole Minecraft thing and stick around for like 2 years.
We have to keep it as close to the actual MBG as possible, because MBG is not even out of beta.
No, Man has said
No,
multiple
Man-
times that MANvsGAME is still very much in beta.
So we have to follow that and stay in beta ourselves.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Well, anyway,
always
this has been a podcast all based upon one man's humongous fucking ego.
And why we think he's wrong.
All the
Whatever
time.
happened.
This is sad.
All right, so thank you, Brownie, Duff, Cherokee, and I'm Chatia12, and we will see you guys later. I'm going to play the intro as the outro, because it's awesome, and we all love it. And we'll see you guys on Monday.
And we'll see you next Sunday as well for another podcast.
Yes, next Sunday podcast. Be here.